Welcome to Normal Baseball's top 10 center fielders heading into the 2023 MLB season. Let's get into it. What's going on? Welcome back to Normal Baseball. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That's Lewis. And today we are continuing our top 10 players for each position. Today we have center fielders, a pretty stacked position. A lot of good players, a lot of potential there. We're going to be going back and forth, giving our top 10s. We each have different lists, and we'll go pick number by number from 10 to 1 and compare what we got. I think this is one of the most stacked positions in the sport.
Oh yeah.
When you just look at talent.
Of course. It's every top 10 list could honestly be extremely different, and it could still be very valid. Could still be the list that everyone could say, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. It depends on how you look at things and what you take into account and what you value more. But that's based on a person to person kind of level. So we'll see what we were thinking when making these things. So if you want to get right into it, do you want to tell us your number 10 center fielder?
Yeah, sure. So number 10 on my top 10 center fielders list for the 2023 season, I had none other than the man, the myth, the legend, Jazz Chisholm Jr. of the Miami Marlins. He has raw talent. So I feel like he can thrive at center field. He seems so confident, and his ability is starting to really show, especially in spring training. Yes, he doesn't look perfect, but I think that will improve over time. You do have to remember that he hit 14 homers and had 12 steals in just 60 games last season. So it's obvious that if he were to have a full season's worth of work, especially at center field, I think that those numbers would look really, really good. And he'll benefit from the shift ban, shifted against 76% of his at-bats, where his expected batting average should have been about 30 points higher.
Yeah, Jazz was actually my 10, too.
Oh, look at that.
So I think he's got potential. I think what kept me from putting him higher on this list is just the fact that he, one, didn't play many games last season, and two, that this is his first season in center field. Yeah. He's already come out and said that he's going to win the Gold Glove this season, so he's got that pressure on him to play good defense in center field. Yes, like you said, throughout the first few games of spring training, it hasn't looked great, but it's something he can definitely improve on. Definitely can improve on by the beginning of the season, too. So I'm excited for Jazz Chisholm to be playing center field. I think it's a position that if he's not going to be playing second, it fits him to play center field. He is just a very center field kind of player when you look at him.
Yeah, and he'll do really well. I'm excited to see it.
Me too. I'm looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it. I think he'll have a big power season. His average isn't usually too high, but that's okay when you're hitting for raw power. I want him to have an amazing season, and I want by the end of the season for me to have him higher on this list of top center fielders in baseball. I want him to really prove himself this season, and I think he will.
And of course, we always have to say, you gotta ride with the boys down south.
Always ride with the boys down south.
Always ride with the boys down south.
Down in Miami.
Yep, no question about it. So, looking forward to seeing Jazz Chisholm play center field. But Alex, why don't you give us your number 9?
My number 9 is a guy who recently has not even recently, just in general, cannot really stay on the field. My number 9 is Byron Buxton of the Minnesota Twins.
So I had him at my 5.
Your 5. See, I would have loved to put him higher. Cannot trust him to stay healthy. It's just a fact. In his 8-year career so far, he's played more than 100 games just once. He just cannot stay on the field. Last season, he had a knee injury. He wound up getting surgery this offseason or towards the end of last season. He's an amazing player. He can be like the best offensive player in baseball when he's healthy. just all around. He's got the speed, he's got the power, he's got it all. But he just can't stay healthy. I hope he does this season, but that just it had to bring him down for me. And even in the games he played last season, it wasn't the best version of himself, which yes could have been seen as the knee injury, but 92 games, batted .224, 28 homers though. So like I said, he's got that power, he's got that talent. I'd love to see him stay healthy, but until he proves that he can stay healthy for an entire season, I cannot put him higher on this list personally.
Yeah, so I actually had put down he could easily be top 3 if injuries had not been holding him back, which I think that we can both agree on that, which would have made this list a lot harder.
Oh yeah.
He has elite speed and the power bat is there. Obviously, he needed to there would need to be some middle ground if he went a full season of trying to just hit as many homers like he did last year. But all in all, I think he has the tools and potential, which I don't know how much longer we can buy in on the potential, but he has it there to warrant him being on this list for both of us.
Yeah. That's I kind of went on the when healthy train, and until we see that when healthy, I can't have him top 5. I just can't.
All right. I get that.
He was your number 5.
He was my number 5.
So who was your number 9?
My number 9 was Cedric Mullins of the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
Lefty bat that had a down year, sadly, from his 2021 All-Star season. He was a little bit just overly aggressive at the plate and really let his average fall from 291 in 2021 to 258 this past season in 2022. I do think that this upcoming season he'll find some middle ground and be able to really help produce on the Orioles, which is we're looking forward to seeing. And I definitely think that he has the speed to steal more bases than he did last year. Last season, he stole 34 bases. I think he can get to 40. I genuinely think that he could get to 40.
I think so too. I had Cedric Mullins at my 8 spot, or 7 spot. I had him. I had him at my 7. Yes, like you said, took a big step down last year compared to his 2021 season. Hit horrible against lefties. He batted 200 against lefties, which is not what you want to see. I think he can still get back to where he was in 2021 because we're not too far removed from it, and it's really just that lefty split that really kind of killed him this season. Mm-hmm. So I think he can. If he doesn't improve this season, I'm gonna be a little concerned. That would be worrying, especially on this Orioles team that feels like they want to outperform their expectations once again.
Yeah.
So if he can outperform his last season, he'll be in a very good spot, and the Orioles will be in a very good spot. He really does help them win when he's on. And like you said, 40 steals is well in the realm of possibilities for him. I'd love to see a 40 steal, 40 double season from him. That would be incredible.
No, that would be a lot of fun.
It would.
I'm in for it.
So am I. I'm fully in for it. Cash me in.
Yep.
But yeah, Cedric Mullins came in at my number 7 spot because he still has that potential for me. Mm-hmm. And he very well could get right back there next season. For sure. So that was your 9.
That was my 9. That was you said 7?
7. So my 8.
Yep.
I'll go with. My number 8, from the Texas Rangers, I have Adolis Garcia.
Oh, wow.
Last season, he put together a pretty good season, 156 games. He batted .250 with a .756 OPS, 27 homers, 34 doubles, amazing counting stats. He had 101 RBIs. He plays good defense. Yes, he does strike out a lot. He struck out 183 times last season, so big strikeout guy. But that was less strikeouts than he had in 2021, so if that's what you want to take out of that, then you could take that out of it.
Yeah.
He improved in most of his categories last season. I think he'll continue to improve this season and become a real staple in that Rangers lineup. So I really like the potential of Adolis Garcia as his career keeps going on. So I'm Adolis Garcia came in at my number 8.
Well, I had Adolis Garcia at my number 6.
Okay.
I also factored in the fact that he is an absolute stud of a defender. Has an absolute cannon of an arm to be playing that big center field in Globe Life. It's really, really cool to watch him develop over the past couple of years. He did steal 25 bags last season. I want him to go for 30 plus because I think he can get a 30 doubles, 30 steals season,
Okay.
which would be fun to see.
Oh yeah, no, he's
And like you mentioned, the strikeouts. Most of his strikeouts were swinging at pitches that were very obviously outside the zone. So his eye just needs to improve a little bit, and we could be talking about him being one of the better hitters in the American League West.
yeah. I think like you said with that 30-30, he could have a 30-30-30.
You could.
With the homers. I mean, he was 3 homers shy of 30 this season, or last season rather. 34 doubles, and like you said with the steals, he has the ability.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he can do this season, especially in a year that the Rangers, this is the most the Rangers have felt in a while, like they can potentially compete with the Astros. Do I necessarily think that means they can?
No.
I'm not going to say I do think so, but this is the most they've wanted to compete in the last few years, and I think Adolis Garcia, if he can be good, will be a big part of that.
Yeah, for sure. So it'll be exciting to watch him this season.
So that was your number 6?
That was my number 6.
But it was my number 8.
Yes.
Okay, fair. So which one are you? What are you up to now? 7?
I'm up to my number 8.
You're up to your number 8.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
So for my number 8, might be a little bit controversial. I put Brian Reynolds of the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's a switch hitter who hit for both power and average in 2023. Really, who should hit for power and average in 2023, this upcoming season. He had only 7 steals last year. Like, what are we doing? He's a lot faster and has a better skill set than that to definitely at least double that. Especially, you're playing in the National League Central. If you're not playing against the Cardinals, if you're not playing against the Cardinals, then there's no reason to not be stealing. There's no really dominant catcher that should be steered to run against, in my opinion. And honestly, it feels like he's gonna play with some extra charismatic characters of himself. He's gonna play more of the get me the hell out of here. However, I do think that because of all the rumors of the trades for the past couple of years, I think he's becoming slightly overrated, and I could not put him a little bit higher on this list just because center field, like we mentioned earlier, is such a deep position.
I respect it. I had him at my number 6.
Okay.
Solely because of the fact that, yes, first of all, I did want to say he's never been a big steal guy, so that's not really him. That's kind of when the Pirates are asking him to steal.
Yeah.
That's not more of him, and he's just not a steal guy. Yes, he hit 8 triples in 2021, 4 triples last year, but I don't think he's going to ever be a real big steal guy, so that's just my opinion. Not great defense either, which I don't really like, and he's definitely not Juan Soto.
Definitely not Juan Soto.
The Pirates tried to argue for a Juan Soto package. It's just he's not. I don't want him to I think you touched upon it. I don't want him to, just because of the fact that he's stuck in Pittsburgh, I don't want him to kind of be playing worse because he doesn't want to be there. I want him to be playing better because he has an edge against Pittsburgh, and he's trade me. Although I don't think they're going to trade him. I think he will be in Pittsburgh until his deal runs up or ends, because they don't like him in Pittsburgh now that he has shown how much he doesn't want to be there. And I don't think they're going to trade him unless he has an insanely good first half.
And a team offers something that's irrefusable.
Exactly. Then that's the only reason. And I want to know, will he be the 2021 version or the 2022 version? Because he's been a lot of different kinds of players. Like last season, he had 27 homers. The season before that, he was not nearly as much of a power hitter. He was more of a extra, I'm going to get these doubles and some triples and just get on base. But last season, he veered away from that just a little bit and went more towards power, 27 homers, like I said. The fact that he's a switch hitter adds a lot of value. But yeah, Brian Reynolds overall, I hope he does have a better season. And I think that if he does, he'll be traded. And I think if he does, he's one of the better center fielders in the game when healthy. When healthy, when playing like he did in 21.
Yeah, he'll look really good in Dodger blue right after the trade deadline.
All right. I think next season he'll have a better year average wise. He'll hit 275, 280. He'll have 26 homers ish and close to 30 doubles. I think he'll put together a decent season next year, and I think he'll make a case to get traded. Like you said, they have to get an offer that they can't refuse.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with Brian Reynolds, but he did come at my number 6.
Yep, we will just wait and find out. All right. So, do you want to give? You did 8.
I'm up to my top 5.
You're up to your top 5. Okay, so I'm one behind you. I just need to do my 7 then.
Yeah, go for your 7.
My number 7, Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yes, I know that right now Fangraphs has him playing left field. It's not going to happen. He's the fastest guy in baseball statistically. He is an absolute. He's a rookie. I'm so excited to get to watch him play. I do think that he will wind up playing more games in center field for them, especially after trading for Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who's more of a left fielder himself. I think he just plays amazing defense, and he's in 32 games last season up in the show at the MLB level. He hit .260 with 4 homers, 9 doubles, and 2 triples. So it's obvious that I think he's definitely ready to be at the major league level. It's just a matter of him getting full run this season, and I think he will get a full season's worth of work this year and really show how good he is and why he was the number 1 prospect in baseball.
Interesting you have him that high, which I guess is fair. You're high on him as a prospect.
Yep.
I just at the center field position, I know you're just saying that you think he's going to play more games at center. I don't necessarily know if that's true. He played a lot of games. He played most of his games in left field last season. It seems like that's where they want to put him.
Right, that was before they traded away, what's his name?
Varsho,
and got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. I think that come the year end, he will play more games in center field.
I mean, maybe come the year end, yeah, you might be right there. Right now, center field, the Diamondbacks have Alek Thomas slotted in there, who is a very, very good outfielder as well. Mm-hmm. But I guess I'm not gonna argue you putting him on the center field list. It's very fair. Your reasonings are very fair. He did not make my list simply because of the fact that, well, first, I didn't really think of him as a center fielder first, and second, he is a rookie. I think I kind of swayed away from rookies that haven't even played in the show that much last season. So that's what kind of brought me away from him. He did not crack my list.
All right, I can understand that.
But I understand the hype. I love him. Fast. He kind of can do it all. So I'm excited to watch him play next season.
So now you're at your top 5, right?
Yeah, I'm in my top 5.
Okay, and I have only 4 left. So go ahead and give us your number 5.
So my number 5, center fielder for the 2023 season is Brandon Nimmo of the New York Mets.
He's my number 4.
Yeah, in 2022, I mean, he batted .275. He played almost the whole season, almost every game, rather. 151 games. Great defense. Signed an 8-year deal with them this season, worth $162 million. He was almost underrated in a sense. He just put together such a good season, such a quality season. 16 homers, 30 doubles. Especially on that Mets team, he sprints out walks, sprints to first base, has a great time. I just feel like he loves playing, and he's got a passion. He just goes out there and he wants to play his best every single day. He's always focused. The one thing I did notice about him is he's not a good hitter at home, which I don't know. I don't know what correlation it has, but he's just not nearly as good of a hitter at home than away. So I guess he's not a fan of hitting at Citi Field. He bats like .230 there, I believe. So could be improved upon.
Well, it's for the showmanship. He looks for walks more.
I think if he does start to hit better at Citi Field, his numbers will go up a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see Brandon Nimmo play next season, especially with that new contract that he just got. Kind of prove that it was worth it to Mets fans. And the Mets are trying to win a World Series. Their players have to be as good as they possibly can. And I think their players are determined. And I think Brandon Nimmo is one of those guys. So I had him at my number 5.
Yeah, I had Brandon Nimmo my number 4 for all the same reasons. He plays very good defense. And nothing that should win a Gold Glove, but nothing that you should overlook. Very good. I do want to note that last year, the 2022 season, he was so aggressive at the plate compared to seasons past. Yes, he still took 71 walks, as Brandon Nimmo does. However, he also had 116 strikeouts, which he hasn't done since the 2018 season, having over 100 strikeouts, which I think is good because if this Mets team wants to win a World Series especially, you need to have everybody getting hits. You need to have everybody doing their part. And yes, a walk can just be fine. It's a single in like the same terms of it's the same amount of bases. But there's more pressure when you do put bat to ball and the ball goes wherever the ball goes. You have more opportunity that way. And I think that Buck Showalter coming in last season for the Mets definitely helped to write that home. And some of their players did see a little bit of a tank in average, but others saw a massive jump in average, like Jeff McNeil. And I think that Brandon Nimmo will have another season like 2022 and will look pretty good doing it.
Love it. I love that you're so high on Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see who in my top 4 you don't have on your list, because you have your top 3 left, right?
Yes, I do.
But I have my top 4 left, so that means one of these guys is not on your list.
All right, so give me your 4 then.
I'm interested to see who it is. My number 4 center fielder for this season is Atlanta Braves stud, Rookie of the Year, Michael Harris II.
He's my number 3.
He's your number 3?
Yep.
Okay, so still one ahead. He played 114 games last season, batted almost 300, had 19 homers, 27 doubles as a rookie, played really good defense. Like I said, won Rookie of the Year, and was 13th in MVP voting. So while only playing 114 games, that is very good. He barely walks. He had only 21 walks last season. He's got the speed. He stole 20 bases. He kind of just does it all on the offensive side of the ball, and defense. He's a very all-around player. Really excited to see what he'll do in his sophomore season, and I think he'll have a really good one.
Yeah,
Yep.
Just to keep talking about Michael Harris II, I do want to mention that if anyone were to challenge Jazz Chisholm for that Gold Glove, that Jazz says that he can go out there and win, I think this season it's going to be Michael Harris. I think he has every defensive tool to win a Gold Glove when it comes to his arm, especially in that really, really big center field down in Atlanta. He has the speed and he has the know-how to really get to any fly ball in his direction. I am looking forward to him putting up hopefully an even better season. I would love to see, imagine a 6 WAR season out of him this year. Last season he had a 5.3 WAR.
I think it's bound to happen. He had a 5.3 WAR, only played 114 games. I think he'll play 155 games next season.
Yeah, and he's going to look really good while doing it. I'm excited to watch him play, and I think we're in for an even better season.
Me too. I think he'll hit the 300 mark, batting average wise. I think he could raise his OPS to a 900. I think he has that potential. He just feels like another Ronald Acuna Jr. type player that just has everything. He has every kind of skill set. I think he's going to put together a really good season. I think he can hit 40 doubles. I think he can steal 30 bags. I think he can do a lot of things, and I think he'll have a really good season. I'm excited to watch him play, especially on this Braves team that they're going to be really heavily competing for that NL East title this season. So having a guy like Michael Harris play like he did last season will help them tremendously. So Michael Harris, go out there, have a great season.
Yep.
Michael Harris. So I'm still one ahead of you.
Yes, you are. So give us your number 3, right?
My number 3, yes. I will say my top 3. So yeah, your top 2. One of my top 3 is not in your top 2.
Yeah.
And I can tell it's going to be my number 3.
Okay.
My 3 left are all in the American League.
Okay.
And my number 3 center fielder for the 2023 MLB season is George Springer of the Toronto Blue Jays. You left him off your list, right?
I did. I see him more as a DH this upcoming season with the depth that the Blue Jays have at in the outfield in general.
No way.
I just consider him more to be a DH this upcoming season.
No way. He is a bona fide stud in center field. He is an amazing defender. He just literally, I feel like he can go out there and grab any ball. His last season ended with a very bad collision in center field
Yeah.
with Bo Bichette, and then of course they blew that game and they were eliminated from the playoffs. Just a really horrible way to go out. I think he's going to come out with a vengeance next season. I'm a little shocked that you have him as a DH.
I do, especially
he's
with them
an amazing defensive center fielder. I think Dalton Varsho, yes, he will be playing the outfield. I don't think he'll be playing center though.
My thought was they also brought in Kevin Kiermaier.
He's not going to be there every day starting center fielder.
Right.
It's George Springer's job. They signed him to that contract. He was going to be their center fielder. Kevin Kiermaier he could play right. I don't think they're going to move George Springer from center field. And I think he's going to have an amazing season. I think he had promising seasons in Toronto for his first 2 seasons. He's still got 4 years left on his deal. He contributes to the lineup well. The only thing is he doesn't hit very well in Toronto. I like looking at players, home and away splits, but he does not hit well in Toronto. Like, he still hits good in Toronto, just a little worse than on the road. But they are moving those walls in Toronto. We love mentioning that. We don't know how it's going to affect anything, but they are moving them in, so we'll see if that equates to anything. I'm really looking forward to George Springer this season.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I can understand that. Definitely would have made my least bare minimum if I had thought that he would be a center fielder, but I believe now we're both in our top 2s.
Yeah, I did want to say a couple more things about George Springer. He did have elbow surgery this year, but he's back and fully healthy. He's been playing in spring training, so I think he'll be just fine. I just wanted to throw that out there as well. I think this season he'll put together a 30-30 season. 30 homers, 30 doubles.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So now we're in our top 2. I know they're the same 2 players.
They should be.
They should be in the same order.
Yeah.
100%.
For sure.
So do you want to say your number 2 or do you want to say your...
I'll say my number 2.
All right, go for it.
At number 2, I have the most exciting man in baseball right now, Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners. Julio's rookie season was nothing short of amazing. I feel like his second year is just going to be even better, especially after signing that massive contract. It's exciting that a young player gets that big of a deal. Well, the possibility of having that big of a deal, there are a lot of contract stipulations. And I just think that after he came up, of course, we saw him struggle a lot because he took so many what could have been ball 3, ball 4s for strike 3s just because he was so used to the robo-umps down in AAA. But as soon as he made that adjustment, he took off, brought his batting average all the way back up to a 284, looked really good. He finished top 10 in MVP voting and won Rookie of the Year, was an all-star, and was a Silver Slugger. Dude was absolutely amazing. There's no other way to put it. I am very much looking forward to Julio's 2023 season.
I agree. I think his season was phenomenal last year. Like you said, Rookie of the Year, well-deserved. Great defense. His speed is up there with some of the best. He had 25 steals last season. He was 7th in MVP voting, which as a rookie is kind of crazy. Not to mention, last season he signed a 7-year, $120 million extension, but it could go up to $470 million, more years too, but depending on how he plays throughout these next few seasons. So I think he will be playing as hard as he can, which I like these new contracts now with the new idea of a contract with more stipulations on how you play.
More
Earn
incentives.
your money throughout your time rather than just us saying, yeah, you're going to get this amount of money, but it doesn't matter how you play at that point. Mm-hmm. So we got to get more incentive contracts, and I love this one for Julio because I think he will be a bona fide stud in the league for a very long time.
Completely agree. And he was your number 2 as well?
He was my number 2, yes.
All right, so then tell us who your number 1 is.
The number 1 center fielder in baseball, as it has been for the last 10 years, Michael Nelson Trout. Mike Trout, last season, only played 119 games because of back spasms that were said to be a career-threatening injury, but Mike Trout didn't seem to think so we love to see that. But yes, in only 119 games, he hit 40 home runs and accumulated a 6.3 WAR. The guy is amazing. The guy is flat out the best player in baseball when he's healthy. He is just is there much else to say?
No,
the only
it's
thing you
Mike Trout.
can
He's proven.
he's proven. The only thing you could ask for is just try not to get injured this season. He's been injured in a lot of seasons this year. I just want him to stay. He's been injured in a lot of seasons the past few years, is what I meant to say. It just feels like we haven't seen enough of him in the past few years, even though, like I said, this season he literally hit 40 home runs and almost had a 1 OPS. He had a 999 OPS in just 119 games. So if he could be healthy for the entire season, he's going to be top 2, top 3 in MVP voting no matter what.
Oh yeah, Mike Trout is just he's special. Absolutely love him. Love his ability at the plate, and he's a generational talent, and it's exciting to get to watch him play every day. It's a privilege.
Yeah, last season was so unfortunate because he was, 40 home runs in 119 games. If he should have played the whole season, he would well be on pace to break his home run record for a season, for like his career high. He had 28 doubles. He could have broken his career high for doubles too. I just think he's still in his prime. Just needs to stay healthy to prove that he's still in his prime.
He's always been in his prime.
He's been in his prime since the day he stepped into the league.
Yeah.
So I love the guy, and he by far is the best center fielder in baseball.
Yep. Looking forward to watching him play this year.
So am I.
Full season, Mike. Full season, Money Mike.
He's no doubt my favorite player to watch.
Yeah. The human highlight reel.
Highlight reel. Every time he goes on the field, it's like, wow, Mike Trout. He always makes his presence felt, and I love Mike Trout.
For sure, as do I. So we both had the same 1 and 2.
Same 1 and 2. We had similar lists, I'd say, as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to read your full list before we come to an end here?
Of course. So at 10, I had Jazz Chisholm Jr. 9, I had Cedric Mullins. 8, Brian Reynolds. 7, Corbin Carroll. 6, Adelise Garcia. Byron Buxton coming in at 5. 4, Brandon Nimmo. 3, Money Mike Michael Harris. 2, Julio Rodriguez. And 1, Mike Trout.
Okay. And my list, at number 10, I had Jazz Chisholm Jr. At number 9, I had Byron Buxton. At number 8, I had Adolis Garcia. At number 7, I had Cedric Mullins. At number 6, I had Brian Reynolds. At number 5, I had Brandon Nimmo. At number 4, I had Michael Harris. At number 3, I had George Springer. At number 2, I had Julio Rodriguez. And at number 1, I had Michael Nelson Trout. I think both of us put together some pretty solid lists.
Yes, solid list. Solid list.
Let us know what you agreed with, what you disagreed with in the comments. Thank you guys for listening, watching, viewing, subscribing, commenting, following, sharing, all of the above. And we will see you guys in the next top 10 list, which is going to be right field. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you guys then. Peace.